When I ran my first marathon in 2001, it was just so miserable. I was like, why would anyone want to do this? And then I thought, well, there must be a reason why all these people are doing this. So I guess I'll have to run another one to figure out like what's so great about it. And so then I got hooked. My goal was to run a marathon in all 50 states. 2011, I got diagnosed with cancer. When you hear the word cancer, I was in shock. I was honestly just in shock.
We saw Rebecca back about 2.5 years back or so. She had a metastatic cervical cancer. She's been treated for a while before, has been in remission in between, had chemo with some toxicities, with some neuropathy.
It was very, very mild, and then in 2020, I was on a clinical trial for a drug it just really made it much worse.
A lot of chemos have neuropathy risk, which means a lot of tingling and numbness over your fingertips, toe tips. It's typically in the glove and stocking distribution. So that limits activity and quality of life.
I thought, well, I'm going to keep my goal because I figured, I've always heard that if you have a long-term goal that it keeps people alive, like they'll live to finish their goal. So I thought, well, this is a long goal, so it'll keep me alive, and it has. I just always tell my doctors when we're making treatment plans, look, this is my lifestyle, this is what's important to me to be able to do. So I don't want to go on drugs that are gonna, cause huge problems down the road. And the great thing about genomic testing is they can target like the specific structure of your cancer. So they develop these drugs that go in and only attack the cells that have that particular marker. And so it's been really great because then they can, instead of just randomly going, oh, let's try this chemo, let's try that chemo and hope it works, they can really target to the specifics of your kind of cancer.
Genomic testing, we're looking specifically at cancer tissue. What we want to know is what is happening in the cancer that is causing it to grow. Is there a contributing factor in the DNA? It is different than genetic testing. Genetic testing looks at the DNA that you essentially started with. So when we're looking at genetic testing, we want to know, what did you get from mom and dad that contributed to how your body makeup is today? When we're talking about genomic testing, like I want actual tissue from the cancer where that's happening to see what those changes are.
What they did was called a blood biopsy. And really it's just you go to a lab and you get blood withdrawn and they send it to a place that does the genomic testing from there.
Once we get test results, it comes back and tells us what changes in the DNA there are. And then I help determine if there's treatments that are appropriate, if there's clinical trials that are options for patients.
Cancer treatment these days is more becoming that we are trying to do targeted therapies and find these medications. So it doesn't really matter where the cancer originated from, which organ. It's really what is driving the cancer to grow. She was treated with the targeted therapy. It resulted in a very good remission. Her disease pretty much went away. And then she has been off of treatment now for 5 months.
At this point, I'm kind of treating it like a chronic disease that I'll probably always be in and out of treatment. I'll always be dealing with cancer. And so you just find ways to incorporate it into your lifestyle. I've done 48 states. I just did my 48th state 3 days ago. So I have 2 more to go, which I'm determined to get done this year. I met a woman once who had cancer and she said, you know what, I'm not dying from cancer, I'm living my life with cancer. And I've thought about that so many times and I thought, yeah, that's it. You've just got to live your life.